Welcome back to my channel, Skincare with Debra Dianne. I am so excited. Today we are going to be talking about what is AromaTouch technique. Now, you've probably said, oh, I've had aromatherapy or I've had essential oils added to my facials before. But I bet you have never had an AromaTouch technique therapy. Totally different. So, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Oh my goodness, give it a thumbs up. Share on social media. And while you're here, check out some of my other videos. We have tons of fun. And I want you to have tons of fun and feel good and feel happy and love your body and love your skin. Before we get started, just a tiny disclaimer because we are dealing and talking about a medical application. We are no way diagnosing or treating severe issues that you should be seeing either a dermatologist or a medical professional for. Also, nowhere in my videos will I ever say you should never take medications and replace it with something different. So, if you skipped out of anatomy class or you just failed it altogether, totally fine, totally fine. I'm going to help you out and give a little bit of a rundown about the human anatomy super quick. Let's see if we can make this under 10 minutes. Just kidding. Okay, I'll try and go as fast as I can. Everybody has a central nervous system. The central nervous system communicates with different parts of the body. Everyone also has a system called the autonomic system. Now, this kind of primarily stays on the outside of the nervous system. But what this does is this takes care and communicates everything that you don't think about, like your heartbeat, your blood flow, your breathing. And it also communicates with different organs in the body. Now, one of the things it communicates with is something called the homeostasis. Now, the homeostasis stabilizes your equilibrium. Basically, it creates the internal environment for organisms, cells, and your organs. So it regulates whether you get so hot, it can regulate whether it gets cold, you can regulate. Okay, so the autonomic system communicates with the homeostasis. Now, what else communicates with the homeostasis is your immune system. Okay, your immune system comes in when there is a foreign virus or bacteria. And they're like these little warriors. And they're like, you're going to cause damage. I'm going to get rid of you. And so your immune system goes in to protect your body. Now, the other thing, if something is damaged, so if you have your living tissue is damaged, the other thing that comes into play is called an inflammatory response. So basically, the inflammatory response goes in to protect this damaged living tissue, and it removes any of the damage. So not only does it fight against infections, it also helps with your body's healing. So it will naturally heal itself and repair this living tissue. Back to the immunity. The other thing that happens with the immunity too is you have an increased blood flow. So when you have a fever, that is your body naturally fighting off whatever virus or bacteria is in your system. So that's something to note too. So fevers are not necessarily a bad thing. They definitely have to be monitored, right? Especially with children, or if they get too high, that's not good. But fevers are a natural part of the body fighting off bacteria. Okay, so AromaTouch technique helps balance the autonomic, homeostasis, immunity support, and inflammatory responses within the body. Okay, but there's also one other thing that it helps and balance and regulates. Now, this other thing is probably the most damaging thing that we could do to our beautiful bodies. Do you have an idea of what it is? I'll tell you. Stress. Stress. So while our beautiful body and our systems within our body are all communicating to keep us healthy, to keep our body active, to keep our body working, we, in our amazing brains and overthinking abilities, bring in stress. And what stress does is it damages every single system in our body. Because when we're under stress, our systems don't know what to do. They can't regulate, they can't communicate, and it's almost like they get all clogged up. So another thing is, let's take this a step further. If you get sick and you're under so much stress, your body, your immune system, it can't help you. So you could stay sick longer, and it could be so much worse than what it really needed to be because you're stressed out. Okay, let's take this a step further. Stress also creates damage within the digestive and reproductive tracts in the body. So that could lead to obesity, diabetes. Stress can also lead to heart attacks and strokes. Okay, but stress does something else that we may not even realize. Stress can rewire your brain. Okay, just take that in for a second. It can rewire your brain to the fact that this could open you up to depression, anxieties. It could open you up to other mental disorders. It can be so bad for you. So you want to make sure that you are keeping yourself in check. You're keeping that energy in check. You need to make sure that you keep yourself and your life stress-free. Okay, so there are things that we can't control, right? It's life. There are things that we can't control. But you can control your reactions. You can control your time. So if you need to take a little bit longer bath, if you need to take some walks, right? If you need to exercise, if you need to sit in a quiet place and read a book, the AromaTouch therapy technique, one of the things that it does is it relieves stress. Okay? It helps with the autonomic, homeostasis, immunity support, inflammatory response, and it relieves stress. While AromaTouch therapy is a clinical approach to essential oil application. Now, a lot of estheticians and a lot of massage therapists add aromatherapy as part of their modality. But the AromaTouch technique therapy is a little different. It's actually its own separate certification that you can get. It was created by Dr. David Hill, and he is an expert in essential oils and integrative medicine. And he created this AromaTouch technique to combine the two for, as I said, a clinical approach to essential oil application. So it works with the meridians of the body that are in your back, head, feet, and hands. And let's just take a minute and talk about essential oils for a second. I've mentioned essential oils in my other videos, and I will never, ever, ever tell you that one is better than the other, because the truth is your body will be gravitated towards essential oil, and we're going to talk about why that happens in a little bit. But essential oils are compounds, highly potent compounds within a plant. So it could be a tree, a plant, a flower. It could be found in the leaves, the seeds, the roots. And this is what gives the plant its scent, but it also is what gives the plant its protection. Okay, its protection. Now, when it's properly distilled, that means that these highly potent compounds are extracted from the plant or the flower or the root or the seeds, wherever the healing compound is the most potent. That is where it would be extracted from. Then it has to be distilled properly. So it's really measuring the temperature of the water, and it's a really intense process to make sure that those compounds aren't ruined, or they keep its intensity, right? The whole reason is to have them work. Now, the other thing about essential oils that you want to look for when you're adding it to your daily routine or to your life is that there are no synthetics or add-ins into these essential oils. You want pure essential oils. So whether it is certified therapeutic grade essential oils or whether it's a high therapeutic grade essential oils, what I look for is if I can take them internally. Okay, so if I'm taking lemon, for example, because lemon, it is distilled from the outside zest of the lemon peel. It's not inside, it's outside is where it should be distilled from. And we can eat that. So if you have a lemon oil that you can't take internally, that means that there is something else in there and you should not be using that essential oil. Okay, so that is personally what I do. So I know that essential oil is safe. If I can put it on my skin and if I can take it internally, then I'm good to go. Depending on the essential oil, of course. But mostly I'm talking about the brand. Okay, so there's some essential oils like eucalyptus, for example. You don't want to ingest eucalyptus, but the brand has other oils that you can ingest, then chances are that oil is pretty cool and it'll be pretty good. Okay, so just certain things to think about, right? Depending on doing your own research. I think that's the most important thing with anything that you add to your routine and to your life is to do the proper research and make sure that it's right for you. We want you happy and we want you healthy. Now, let's go back to our anatomy that we just had. Oh yeah, that was fun. Okay, so we had our anatomy and we talked about how all these systems are communicating together, right? Well, our DNA, when we take a synthetic into our body, like a medication, let's say, how I view it is I view like our body is working. Okay. And we take this medication that might be foreign, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, wait a minute. And how I view it is our body stops doing what it's doing to kind of redirect this synthetic foreign element that just came into our body. Okay. Now with essential oils, if you look under a microscope, our DNA and the plant DNA are complementary. Okay, they're complementary. So when you add an essential oil, your body doesn't need to stop working. The essential oil is just going to come in, it's going to go where it needs to go, and when you don't need it, you will naturally pee it out. How cool is that? So when Dr. Heal created this education and the certification and the special technique, he understood the power of essential oils naturally complementing the body. So this is a very powerful, special technique that you can get certified for. But my personal clients, I have a lot of PTSD clients that come in and see me. And if you haven't seen the video on PTSD that we did, definitely take a look at that. It makes you feel totally different and have a different understanding the way PTSD is explained in this video. It was the coolest video. So go ahead and check that out. I also have a lot of clients with fibromyalgia. So those are my main clients that I use the AromaTouch technique with. And they seem to be pretty happy. So I keep offering it. Okay, so AromaTouch technique. We had just talked about the anatomy of the body. We just talked about how beautiful your body is. And we talked about an AromaTouch technique and how it just enhances your workings of your beautiful body. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Come back and visit me again. Also, check out some of my other videos that I have. And you have a beautiful day.